As list season is in full swing, one thing must be remembered. Respect needs to be earned. Let's discuss.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Cardinals Alex Clancy here. Follow me on Twitter, Clancy's Corner. Follow the podcast, Locked On AZ Cards. 10 years in this, baby. 9th season, 10th year as part of the Locked On family, 15 total years in sports media. And as I've said multiple times, I have never been more excited than I am now at this point in the offseason. The world is the oyster of the Arizona Cardinals for this year and years to come. What they do with that is up to them. There's only so much coaching, only so much prep, only so much roster building that can be done. When push comes to shove, naturally, what happens between the lines separates everything. And today's show is going to signify that in a couple different ways with a little sprinkle of Michael Bidwill's trying. Today's episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. For those that don't know, for those that didn't see on the YouTube channel and where you get your podcast, we've rolled out the Locked On Cardinals Squad Show, which is, it's really fun. We're doing it 2 days a week, Monday and Thursday for now, and it's it's a different spin on what we do here with Locked On every day, and it's Ben Garcia, who hosts Locked On Suns. Jamil Douglas played 7 years in the NFL as an offensive lineman. Had our first show on Monday a couple days ago, or Tuesday a couple days ago, and we're doing another one tonight at 4 o'clock Pacific. Just more of a roundtable, just nice little addition, nice big addition to the Locked On Cardinals, platform, and we'll be doing it throughout the year. So be sure to check that out as well. So now you have to see my big dumb face 8 extra times a month. Might want to start taking your Advil out. I don't think Advil will help it. We're a month away. We're a month away. It was officially a month away yesterday. We're a month away from the first preseason game. What are we looking at? What do we want to see between now and then? Michael Bidwill's trying with his new fly to Dallas in a replica private jet that I have, and, caviar and champagne dreams and players meeting and all that stuff. He's trying. I'll discuss. But first, and I think this is the last year I'm going to have to discuss this because, it's going to go one way or the other. With list season being upon us, ESPN just put out their list, their rankings of quarterback or wide receiver, running back, tight end rooms. And some people aren't too happy with where the Cardinals stack up. And I know that what the Cardinals have done this offseason, parlayed with what they did last offseason, snowballed from what they did, the year before, has put this roster in a position to pop. Put this roster in a position to go. And the thing that we can't deny is that nothing's happened yet because the games haven't been played yet. So when people are looking at projections for 2025, obviously it's predicated upon a foundation floor of 2024 for some players and what the springboard could be and what we could see in 2025. Respect must be earned, okay? Kyler Murray is at tier 4, tier 3, tier 4 quarterback. That's where he's been, and respect must be earned, regardless of me being a Kyler Murray guy. I'm not a truther. I'm not ignorant to the fact of things that, he doesn't do well in the situations that he's put the Cardinals in where, maybe a Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, whoever it is, wouldn't have. I'm a Kyler Murray dude. I think that he's better than the average quarterback in the NFL. And when you look at the less than average quarterbacks in the NFL, most of those teams would rather have Kyler Murray than the quarterback that they have. And I think there's power in that. I think there's weight to be held in that, where even if it's not perfect, and even though there are some glaring issues like every human being has, let alone NFL quarterback, Kyler Murray is well above what the below average quarterbacks look like. Regardless of that, respect must be earned. He hasn't won jack. Both can be true. I think this is the best situation for him that he's had probably since Pop Warner. I think this is the best coaching staff he may have ever had, regardless of what, you think about Lincoln Riley over at Oklahoma when he was there. Like, this is what I don't get about everything is in the black or white. Like, there's no gray area for conversation. Either it's this or it's this. That's ridiculous. The next level thinking's in the gray. Unless we're talking a true or false test, there's a lot of gray area, especially with sports, where it's like, well, look at the numbers. We'll look at the field. We'll look at both. We'll look at analytics. We'll look at the roster building. We'll look at the 2-minute drills. We'll look at all this stuff. Like, there's so much to decipher between. There's so much to weigh, and it's something that it's really fascinating to see where the Cardinals are going to go. But there's one thing is for sure, like, they've got to earn the respect to move up these lists. So I've buried the lead long enough. I think I've made you wait long enough. The Cardinals rank 15th on the most recent ESPN rankings, ranking the wide receiver, tight end, and running back groups going into 2025. And they made it very clear it has nothing to do with contracts or anything like that. It's just projections for 2025. And I think that 15th is exactly where the Cardinals should be. James Conner has been great. The one player who I think has been severely underrated since coming over, except for like in fantasy football circles, people know that James Conner is a steal in the late second round, early third round in PPR formats. Like, he's that guy that people hope drops because he's still undervalued for some reason. People are just looking at the age. It's like, it's the dumbest thing ever. But, Trey McBride is on a meteoric rise. He had a great year last year, 2 touchdowns. Had a great year, 2 receiving touchdowns, had a great year last year, and Marv had a solid rookie season for a third option and a run-first offense. All of those things are true. And if what happens that we expect, at least 70% of what you'd hope would happen, like in a vacuum, this would mean the Cardinals win 12 or 13 games. If there's 70% of that between those 3 dudes in 2025, couple it, adding in Trey Benson, adding in Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch, they're going to be the top 10 next year or top 5 next year. Like very few, especially trios of wide receiver 1, tight end 1, and running back 1 have the ceiling that this trio does. With all of that said, they're 15th. Like, I don't see anything wrong with this. I don't see anything wrong with it. And it's not just because of those 3. It's the depth surrounding it. And, of course, I've been one who has said pretty much like they're punting on the wide receiver position. I think this is a like drafting one, signing an impact guy, which they still could sign a vet. I mean, Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen are still on the block. I just don't think that they're going to bring anybody in. But, like, they've got the talent, if utilized properly, to maximize the talent in the wide receiver room. It's the play calling. It's Kyler Murray. Like, we're not going to get into this today, but because I've talked about it a lot, and I'll talk about it before season starts. But, like, maybe the evolution of this offense is, Trey McBride's open for 6 yards and a first down. Maybe we're going to pump fake to him, turn the other side, and see Michael Wilson screaming down the sideline. One-on-one coverage where you throw a jump ball and he goes and gets it because he's 6'3" and catches everything. Like, that's the evolution of this offense that we just haven't seen. And maybe because, it's been so run heavy and, whatever it may be. And sure, some of it's on Kyler. A lot of it's on Petzing too for the play calling. But 15th, this isn't like offensive to me. They've got to go out and get it. They've got to go out and absolutely get it in 2025. And if they do, again, 70% of what we think that they're going to do, this is going to be a top 5, category for the Cardinals, fringe top 5 going into 2026. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Michael Bidwill is trying. He's trying. He's failing, kind of, but he's trying, which is something we haven't seen in the past. Yeah, I'm going to defend Michael Bidwill next. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. This episode of Locked On Cardinals is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action, man. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game with your friends, and while they're getting sunburned on the beach, you can be making some cheese. FanDuel's so fun to look at because it's like they've got something for everybody. Whether it's like who's going to hit the first home run, or who's gonna score the last run. Like they've got odds for almost everything. It's absolutely insane. They got new fast, even faster payouts. Makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. If you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Again, squad show. Locked on Cardinals squad show twice a week from here, hopefully until, perpetuity. Myself, Ben Garcia, host of Locked On Suns, and Jamil Douglas, 7-year pro. We had our first show a couple days ago. The first time all three of us had ever hit record and talked together. And I think it went pretty damn well. We're brewing up something pretty special there. So it'll be a little bit more long form. It's going to be an hour instead of my 24 to 29 minutes a day. So it'll be a perfect compliment. So check it out. There's it's just another playlist on the Locked On Cardinals YouTube channel. So you won't have to look anywhere else. You just have to go down to the different playlists. So we've got you covered there. Michael Bidwill's trying. Okay. So earlier this week, there was a press release put out that said that there is going to be packages starting at $2,500 that fans can take advantage of to fly in a private jet, get food, get accommodations, get tickets, get other perks. There's like bronze, silver, and gold packages. This one is going to be flying to Dallas when they play the Cowboys. And like, here's the thing. There's a couple different ways you can look at this. Jamil Douglas, again, former 7-year pro, 7-8-year pro, the NFL. We asked him this on the Cardinal squad show about this when it rolled out a couple days ago. And he said, players don't pay attention to this. They just score right past it. And it's like, that's cool. Like, I asked him, like, is this a bad look? Like, would you roll your eyes at this? He goes, no, you're just indifferent as a player. So that was fascinating input. For me, it's like, okay. So what we saw from Michael Bidwill and Steve Keim for large chunks of seasons when things weren't going well was bookus, was nothing. Absolutely nothing. Michael Bidwill is notorious for having, T-Rex arms when it comes to paying for things for his players. He's got these short little arms and, he'll sign the paychecks, but they got to pay for their food. And, we're not going to upgrade things. Like all of those things that Michael Bidwill had done poorly ever since the end of the 2022 season, he's done what he said he was going to do. Okay, so with that in mind, this still falls short of rational thought, in my opinion, for the most part. What? Maybe say like being super, super lenient. 10% of Cardinals fans can just drop this and go. I know for an experience, it's great. I get it. The idea behind it is there. But this is kind of like the Casitas thing. And again, he missed a golden opportunity by not calling them Cardcetas. It's the damn Cardinals. Cardcetas, Casitas, Cardcetas, Casitas. What are we doing here? He fell short there. It's like, why are we... You take away seats that fans can afford, and you put these beautiful monstrosities down there. It's like, well, who's gonna buy those? It's in that same kind of line of thought where he just has zero real understanding of what it's like to not be a rich person in an ivory tower. He doesn't relate to normal people, and it's painfully obvious. So with this, while it seems like, in theory, a kind of revolutionary idea, it falls short because, yes, the packages are going to cost the team money, a lot of money, and that's why people have to pay a lot to do it, which I get, commerce-wise. But what would have saved me for it here? What would have taken the training wheels off? Like, he's trying, but he's still wearing training wheels. Like, he's not on a two-wheeler yet. Not even close. Like, he's not even able to, this will be a throwback for people who learn how to ride a bike this way like I did. Like, he can't even get to the pavement. Like, you're on your two-wheeler, bicycling in the grass, trying to get to the pavement. It's like, okay, well, if you fall, at least you fall on grass. He can't even get through the grass. He's got to be on training wheels when going out with his family for, a stroll and taking the dog and stuff. Like, he's not there yet. One thing that would have allowed me to think that he could reach the pavement without training wheels, doing some sort of lottery system. Okay, so half is going to be people who will pay the full freight. And then half or a third will be, okay, it's $50 lottery tickets. 2 people are going to win. And you're going to get to go for $50 because you're going to win a lottery. Something like that. That will allow for both. He kind of missed the mark there. Again, he's trying. He's here. He's around. And I know how dumb it sounds that you got to give credit to an owner for that. Okay. He's far from Arthur Blank, who gives all of his money to charity pretty much. Like, he's far from that. And I'm not saying he needs to be that. I'm just saying that he needs to be a lot more rational in these situations. I don't know if it's his inner circle. I don't know if he just doesn't care. I don't know if he's completely ignorant to the fact that this doesn't hit the majority of the fan base. I don't know what it is, and it doesn't really matter. The majority of stuff in marketing is how you present it and what it looks like. If it's appealing to the masses, and while this is appealing to the masses are far from being able to accommodate this, to be able to take advantage of what looks to be a very nice package. So you see, it's kind of a grab bag. It's kind of like Michael Bidwill, like the microcosm of Michael Bidwill as an owner, what we've seen over the last 10 or 15 years. It's like, all right, great. Seen some good stuff, but the bad stuff makes completely irrational sense that kind of overwhelms and supersedes any of the good stuff that happened. So again, he's trying. He failed, but he's trying. And I think you got to give him credit for that, especially compared to where he has been over the last 15 years. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. The Cardinals' first preseason game is a month away. Am I hungry? The Cardinals' preseason game is a month away. What do we want to see? I'm going to talk very briefly about these things and expand it on tomorrow's show, or on Friday's show, which is tomorrow. So my math is mathing. My brain is working. Be right back. Please go to the YouTube channel. Search Locked On Arizona Cardinals. Hit that subscribe button, man. We're getting closer to 4K. We'd love to hit it before the season starts. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being along this ride with me and us. And, man, I'm so excited for week 1. I'm so excited for NOLA. I'm so excited to see this product on the field. Now, for the next month, 2 months, it's just under 2 months that we'll be doing a post-game show right after the Cardinals play the New Orleans Saints. I think the Saints just called me and asked me if they wanted me to play quarterback week 1. So I may have to be running double duty because they don't know what the hell they're doing down there with quarterback. But, I'll apologize ahead of time. You have 2 months notice. What do we kind of want to see? Like, the chronology of the offseason after, free agency, after the draft, things kind of dust settle. You do all the intro press conferences and things like that. It's like anytime you're on the field, all you want to avoid is those oh no moments. Every day, you'll know that I've discussed this a lot. If this is your first time listening to Locked On Cardinals, let me explain. First of all, thank you. Second of all, it's like, okay, you just don't want to see a rookie or a second-year guy look completely lost out there. That's it. That's kind of the barometer check. It's like everything else, it's like, oh man, Darius Robinson and the Oklahoma drill didn't look good today. I'm not saying they run those. It's like, okay, relax. The majority of these things are much ado about nothing. You just don't want to see Will Johnson get absolutely burned by Quez Watkins 9 times in a row. Things like that. The oh no moments. Obviously, injuries and stuff notwithstanding, knock on wood. So then, after that, then you go into real camp a month before the season. Then, this is kind of what you want to see. Which rookies are going to steal starting roles from vets? Which second-year guys are going to supplant themselves? Supplant's not the right word. Reinforce themselves at a starting role where a rookie may have taken it. Those are the things. This is the fun stuff. This is where you actually get to see iron sharpening iron. You get to actually see real football being played with pads on, and you're going to see who the better player is to steal that role or to maintain and be the incumbent to that role. And that's the fun stuff. I'm speaking generalities today. There's going to be a couple very, very important ones for me, position group-wise, going into 2025 that I know that we're going to see the foyer into the auditorium at camp, and then we're going to see the auditorium during the preseason, and then we're going to see the production week 1. There's a couple position groups that I'm fascinated to see. What I want to see a month away. First off, James Conner, Trey McBride, Marv, set and forget. That's what it's going to be. Offensive line is pretty much set. We'll see what Jonah Williams is going to be like on the right side. If Kelvin Beacham's going to start the season over there. The defensive front is going to be fascinating, but I think it's going to kind of be, it's a win all around. Okay, cool. Walter Nolan wows in camp, wows during the preseason. It's like, all right, well, you're starting and playing 70% of the snaps week one. Cool. If it takes him 6 weeks to get in that kind of rotation, cool. That means other players are playing better than him and they've got established dudes. The three position groups for me that's going to be the most fascinating, and I'm going to highlight all three tomorrow. Pass rush, and this is in no particular order. Pass rush, is Jordan Birch going to be a dude that's going to be able to play 40% of the snaps, or is he going to be that bull rush, situational pass rusher on third and long or second and long to where the Cardinals are going to be opportunistic about potentially turning the ball over? We don't know. Is Bija Ojulari going to be able to come back and start week one with his production during the preseason? I'd be shocked if he doesn't play some preseason snaps. But we'll see a lot of it during camp. And then you pivot to the linebacker room, especially the off-ball linebacker room. Like, who's going to be the green dot week one? Who's going to play alongside Mack Wilson? Is it going to be Akeem Davis-Gaither, who they brought over from Cincinnati? Is it going to be Owen Pappoe, who has played in the system for a couple of years? Or are they going to let the kid eat with Cody Simon, who was the defensive MVP of the national championship game last year? Are you going to let a rookie come in and wear the green dot come week one? It didn't start well for Zaven Collins. It didn't start well for Isaiah Simmons. I think Cody Simon is better at that position because he plays that position. He wasn't just moved into that position because they didn't know what to do with him after drafting him, which that's going to fascinate me. I think that they should, like, a little insight into what I'm discussing tomorrow. If it's 50-50, let the kid eat. This isn't like rushing a quarterback to start week one. This is an off-ball linebacker who's got a great vet next to him, who's got a great cocoon of talent surrounding him that could cover up a little bit of the NFL's a lot faster than college that he's going to feel during the first couple weeks. But if it's close, let the kid go. Now, the cornerback room is the third one. Is Will Johnson starting outside week one? Is Max Melton, this is the one I was talking about, like, is the second-year dude going to be like, nope, mine. We'll see what you got, Rook. Let's see. Like, is Starling Thomas going to see 40% of the snaps? Like, what is the cornerback room going to look like? And a lot of this is going to be decided during camp in the preseason. I'm really excited to see all of them wear pads. Jonathan Gannon, they want to be physical during camp. He said that a few weeks ago. Like, the violence starts now. Obviously, abridged because it's team versus team friendly fire. But it's like, you want to see it. So a month away, there's still a lot of question marks going into what this roster is going to look like 1-22 starting week one. And they're the good questions. They're the right questions. Not, does this cornerback room have one dude they can trust? Which is what happened when Byron Murphy was CB1 for a couple years. Like, that was truly the conversation. Do they have one cornerback that they can trust? Or Budda Baker and Jalen Thompson going to have to cover for all of it? Those were the questions. Is this offensive line going to be able to hold up? Are they going to be able to combat interior pressure with the pocket collapsing from the interior that's going to make Kyler Murray do the Tony Romo spin out every time they're throwing the ball? That was a question. Now the questions are, hey, can that Rook start? Can that Rook take that role because he was a stud in college and they can't believe they fell to him? And can he line up alongside wide receiver one week one? Or has Max Melton gotten so much better this offseason and continued his growth that it's going to be a lot harder than that? And is Cody Simon going to be able to take his defensive prowess, defensive MVP from the national championship game and parlay that into a week one start? Not a, you're questioning why the GM said Zaven Collins is going to be the starter week one before camp even started and allowed Jordan Hicks, the starter at that point, to look for a trade. The idiocy that the questions used to be surrounded by are no longer. These are constructive, future-pacing, win-win questions that the Cardinals are facing going into camp. And that is something that, above all else, is a far cry from what has been experienced here with the last regime moving into the new. That's a win. And we're a month out from week one of the preseason. And that is a massive win. Locked On Cardinals, your team every day. Remember, without you, there is no me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.